money and apply it specifically to transitioning to the Common Core and ensure that students across the state, regardless of geography or wealth, have access and connectivity so they can participate in the Common Core and the SBAC.
And how does AXA intend to be part of the process this year?
Well, let me just say, too, when we talk about AXA being involved, AXA is all of us. AXA is all of you. It's the 17,000 leaders in the state. It's the 50-some employees that we have in our association. And we intend to be heavily involved in this process. We're going to have a lot of legislative action days at the Capitol. We'll be bringing people here to do that work, and those are very, very important to the work we do. But we can't forget that advocacy doesn't just happen at the state Capitol. Advocacy happens in our districts with our local lawmakers. And so we have to raise our voices, all of us, in our local districts with our lawmakers and share with them our needs, our specific needs, and how much we need to fulfill our obligation to our students. I've always said we ought to be taking students with us to our local offices. If I were in Morgan Hill, I would take maybe Taylor or Jackson, my kids that are still in public education, and sit them down beside me and say, now look, in New York, they get $17,000 per student. In Morgan Hill, we got under $5,000 per student. And I don't think Taylor and Jackson, well, they're not always well behaved, are third as important as the students in New York City. And I think that's an important message in our local districts. And so, to answer the question, we've got to do the work at the Capitol. Our government relations team, our AXA members will be doing that work. We also have to be advocating at the local level. And to help our members, to help all of you do that work, we're doing legislative advocacy training throughout the state. Because we all know that when we're educators, we're trained on how to educate, how to help kids be safe, how to help kids learn, how to help people be effective in those tasks. We're not often told how to advocate, how to go to the Capitol and talk to lawmakers. And so we've had a campaign this year that will continue where we go out to the local regions and we share advocacy training skills.
What about the trailer bill language in the rainy day fund? What comes next?
What comes next? Well, hopefully, with the trailer language and the rainy day fund, what comes next is a repeal of the problematic language that threatens district solvency. And this work really began before Prop 2 was voted on. You'll all remember that AXA was one of two groups that openly opposed Proposition 2. So the work began that day when we opposed Prop 2. We got the governor's attention. He called us in, said, what's wrong with the proposition? We shared with him that we fought for local control, but Prop 2 smacks right in the face of local control. It isn't local control. It also ignores the local needs, the local dynamics, needs like transportation, facility needs, special education, et al. It ignores all of those, and that's why we opposed it. We opposed it for that reason, and also when you're 50 out of 50, or 47 out of 50, or 48 out of 50 in per pupil funding, how can you, in good conscience, take money away from that to put into a savings account when districts already have savings accounts? And so we've been opposed since day one. We think a rainy day fund is a great idea so long as it isn't linked to Prop 98, which this one is. And we really have a problem with the trailer language that threatens the solvency of school districts and really erases local control.
Do you have a sense for when that work will begin?
That work began when we opposed the bill. I think the question that a lot of people are asking me now is, when will the work end? When will we have that language revised or repealed? And it would be irresponsible for me to give